Hello, welcome. This month, March, this is the end of March, marks 4 years with these sets of locks. And I thought to celebrate the 4 years, I will do a question and answer video, this video. At the end, I will also attach some photos, monthly pictures since March of 2023, just to show how much my locks they've grown or evolved, forms that they've taken in this journey. I watched some tag videos, question and answer videos, and I will link some Loc Content Creators in the description box below so you can go check them out if you would like. There are different types of locks: Microlocs, sister locks, brother locks, traditional locks, freeform locks. There's so many different locks. Some of the questions, in no particular order. How did I start my locks? I started them with 2-strand twists. I did my own locks. I didn't go to a loctician. I just did research, watched multiple videos, multiple lock journeys, and decided what I wanted to do for mine. So, started with 2-strand twists. How many locks do I have? My lock count, I recently counted, and I'll insert the video here or in the cards so that you can go check it out if you want, the process of counting it. If I remember correctly, it's 398 locks. When I started these sets of locks, the initial count was about 400 and something, maybe over 450 locks, but since then I have combined a lot of my locks. Next question, do you have any locks that are especially strange, unique, awesome? My locks as a whole is unique. It's unique to me from someone else. I don't think it's strange as in a negative connotation. It's different. It's unique to me. I enjoy my locks, so yes, they're awesome. I do have double-headed dragons, where some may say, I guess, label as strange, but these are, the double-headed dragons are the locks that I combined in the beginning stages. Probably at the 6-month to a year mark, I combined some, but I have multiple of these, and I guess that's the only ones I may say are strange or unique. But in general, I think my locks are, it's mine. They're unique, they're awesome. Next question, what is the length of your longest lock and the length of your shortest lock? My longest lock is at the base of my head. I think if I have to stretch it out to really show, but just letting it fall freely. We'll pick this one. And this is what it looks like, and if I stretch it. I remember initially when I started my locks, the one right in the front, I think it stopped right here, but right now it's way over here. My shortest lock, I have 2. This used to be my shortest lock, and before then I had one here, and it's grown longer. But during this month, when I retightened my locks, this retightening is 2 weeks old. I started new ones. This one and another one here. These are my shortest locks. And also my new ones. So I guess going back to my lock count, adding these two makes it 400, but I'm not counting it yet because I'm still at the stage of watching to see what they do. Not sure if they'll become their own or if I'll fit them into another lock. I thought about adding them to another lock, but it made the base of the lock I was trying to add them to, just baby hairs, seem larger. So I decided I will leave them be like this, and then as I nurture them, I'll decide what to do. And what I usually do with these, off on a tangent, they're both in 2-strand twists. So when I wash my locks, it unravels, and after washing it, I just separate it and put them both in 2-strand twists, and they're just right there. And so far, that's my shortest locks. Next question: if you could start a new set of locks, would you do anything differently? The first thing, if I had to choose one thing I would do differently, is patience. Patience with the process. I'll still start my locks on my own. I will probably still do the 2-strand twists, but perhaps start the interlocking method sooner or earlier. Do the 2-strand twist, especially for the length, depending on the length of my hair, and then to secure the base, start the interlocking early. But overall, patience. A lot of things that happened during my journey so far was because of lack of patience, especially the double-headed dragons, the combining. I didn't trust the process, and again, this is my first ever micro locks. I had traditional locks, and that was easier for me to just feel each lock and just say they feel substantial, they're not going to fall off or break off. But with these sets of locks, I had moments where I felt like a lock was too thin and I was afraid that it might break off or snag on something. But now, 4 years in, there are certain locks that look thin to me, but they feel strong. Ones that I didn't combine, seeing what they look like, I wish I would have been more patient with the other ones I have. Something that I feel like makes my locks unique, I didn't braid and band as long as I should or was advised to do with the videos I watched before I decided to start these sets of locks. But I think because I didn't do so, there was a lot of bunching, which in turn now I actually like because it gives my locks more volume, and they're not uniformed. So I think the bunching that resulted from not braiding and bending, I actually like it. So that makes my lock sets unique. You can see the difference between when I was interlocking and then 2-strand twist and some bunching. These are spongier and these are tighter. You can see the difference. And then I do not try to prevent or promote the tails of each lock to lock or bud. So I actually like that they're still loose and have that, some have that curl to them. This one has a curl to it, but it's budded where I have to pull it if I want that, but I'm not trying to prevent or promote it. So these are really tight curls. And then I have the same as this one. And then I have the little curly ends with some of them. Next question, what's the weirdest question you've gotten about your locks? Weirdest question. I don't think, I haven't gotten a question that I thought weird. I have gotten just questions that comes from a place of not being knowledgeable about locks or black hair. A question, most common question I've gotten would be, it's not weird, but it would be, is this my real hair? And yes, I answer yes, they're my real hair. And another question I get is, how do you get it to be like this? And most of the time, the easiest thing for me to tell the person is, have you heard of, traditional locks? When you see people with locks, and they might say yes, and I say, it's exactly the same, just smaller. I just leave it that simple. It's exactly the same, but smaller. Another question sometimes is, with the how do you get it this way? Especially with my roots, when it seems maintained, when it's retightened, then I venture into, instead of twisting with some locks, how you can maintain it, instead of twisting, I have a tool that I interlock the locks within itself for me to maintain it this way with the new growths. Next question, do I still love my locks? I still love my locks. I'm thinking of many things. It's helped in general with my life, with my routine, with how fast I get ready each day. It took me a while, this decision to lock my hair and to lock it in this size took me a while, because for a while I enjoyed my loose afro hair. I enjoyed styling it different ways, the puffs, the wash and goes. But the older I got, I got to a point where I knew it was time. And when I said I knew, I thought more long term, the permanence of having these sets. And I think when I learned that I want it smaller, I think that's when I even got more excited and eager to start the journey. Before I locked my hair, I did braids, and I always enjoyed the smaller braids. And I knew one of the questions I asked myself, if I could live in braids forever, I would. That's when I didn't know there was such a thing as Microlocs. And then when I found out there's such a thing, this literally feels like my micro braids, but it's my hair locked within itself. Yes, I still love my locks. Next question, my lock routine. I try not to manipulate it a lot, as in styling it. This is how I usually style it, or half up, half down, or sometimes all up, depending on what I'm doing. I use headbands to get it off my face without, it's a way to get my locks off my face without applying too much tension with putting it up or down, even though I could control the tension I apply onto them. I try, keyword, try. I try to wash my locks once every 2 weeks. There are times when I wash it once a month. It just depends on what it's doing. I just listen to it, fill it out, depending on what it's doing, then I take action. It's the end of March right now, and I've washed it twice so far. I think the first week and the second week before I started tightening it. And since then, so it's been 2 weeks and I haven't washed it. I haven't felt the need to. Yeah, I try to wash it once every 2 weeks. I use Dr. Bronner's unscented liquid soap. I don't put oil or anything else in my hair. I don't even spray it with water anymore. I used to in the beginning when I started my locks. I wash it, then let it air dry. When I started retightening my locks, the first year or so, I started with the 4-point rotation, and then I found it difficult to keep track of which part of the lock that I went through. I kept forgetting, so I went to 3-point rotation. That also became difficult after a little while. And for the last 2.5 years perhaps, I've been doing 2-point rotation, and that's been great for me. I prefer that. And I think that possibly played a part on how my lock profile looks, the presentation, how each strand looks. I do believe from my research, my initial research, the 4-point rotation makes your locks tighter, each strand or each lock tighter, and the 2-point rotation is not as tight. So I do believe that may also play a part with the volume of how my locks look, with other factors like my hair type, braided and banding or lack of. I also, with my routine, retighten every 3 months. I have gone periods longer than 3 months. I think the longest was 7 months. That makes the retightening process or time longer. And right now, I think my happy medium is 3 months. Every 3 months, retighten, which would be 4 times a year. Next question, do you have any regrets during your lock journey? I think I sort of answered this already with the other question of if I would do anything differently. If I were to restart my lock journey, would I do anything differently? The only regrets I have is not being patient at certain stages of my lock journey. Yeah, I think that's the only thing. The last question, any advice, or maybe a bonus question, any advice I have for others that are thinking of starting their locks, or even advice for myself. I wrote lock envy comparison. During your journey, during the process of you starting your locks, of me starting my locks. I experienced it too. Do not compare your journey, your hair, your locks to others. Do not envy to be like, or your locks to look like others. Enjoy the process. Your hair is unique. Although you may have I guess labels like 4C, 4B, 2, 3, ABC, and you find another person that has the same hair type, your locks will not be the same as theirs. There are many factors that play into what your locks will be like as they mature. I did experience that, the lock envy and comparing my locks to others, especially the first year of having my locks. And the comparison I had and I found myself doing were to those that had matured locks. And I'm like, oh, I think maybe my hair will look like this. Oh, I wish mine looked like that. I wish mine did this and that. I remember there was a moment when I told myself, enjoy your locks. Enjoy the process, the imperfections, everything. Just let it do its thing. Do not compare, do not envy. And when I stopped doing that, I enjoyed my journey so much more. I remember when I did so with the comparison and lock envy, I didn't find joy or even have time to enjoy and pay attention to what my locks were doing. And now, 4 years in, I'm letting it do its thing. I'm enjoying the process. I'm enjoying what it's doing. I'm enjoying the whole thing, all the perfect and imperfections that is and will be my locks. It is okay to be inspired. There's nothing wrong with being inspired. When I see others with their locks, I no longer envy or compare. I just find genuine joy and happiness seeing them in their own journey and how they're thriving. Do not allow that emotion of envying and comparing your journey to others to rob you of being present and witnessing your own journey. Enjoy the process, enjoy your locks, enjoy the uniqueness of what they are. Because I found that when I put in that energy and time envying and comparing, I took time away from actually enjoying the process, getting to know my hair and my locks, seeing what they're doing, listening to them. Yeah, I guess that's my advice to you and to me. So that is it for this video. I will again put in those pictures of what my hair looks like each month since March of 2023 till now. I don't know. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. So thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And while you're here, if you have not subscribed, I would love for you to consider subscribing. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Oh, I probably did not answer all questions that are out there about locs, but if you do have any questions that I did not answer, please ask in the comments below, and if I do have an answer, I will give it. If I don't, I will let you know.